Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Football Huddle. For pretty much the only time you'll see me on the show this semester or this fall. This is Jason Lejeune from Gridiron Football, but I'm here with the two of our beat writers that you'll be seeing a whole lot of during the fall. And really, what we're trying to get done here today for the Football Huddle is for y'all to get to know a little bit of the people that you'll be hearing about for our second season of the Football Huddle. And before we do that, just want to say, make sure to check out all of our content at gridironfootballusa.com. We just got our newsletter coming in. You can see right here, this is some of our newsletter, recent newsletter that we've gotten in the last, earlier this spring, but we have another one actually out. So if you live in the Baton Rouge area, keep an eye for it in your mailbox coming to you soon. It should be coming next week or so. If not, if you're not from like the Baton Rouge area and want to check it out, we got a lot of Diamond in the Rough school spotlights that we've done pretty recently. So if you're interested in that, go to our website. We have a digital version of that newsletter at gridironfootballusa.com. Now let's get into it. The Football Huddle, which will be actually premiered every Friday. Pretty much kickstarts the football weekend, so a pretty good start about it. So get a chance for you to get to know a little bit about our hosts that you'll be hearing a lot from about this show. So to my left of me, to the right of you, is Demetrius Holland. So Demetrius, tell me a little bit about yourself and what state you'll be covering for Gridiron Football this year.
Hi guys, my name is Demetrius. I'm from Houston. And the states I'll be covering Nebraska, Iowa, North and South Dakota, and Minnesota.
Okay, so like kind of like Big Ten country right there.
Yeah.
So what you're most excited about covering that area? Is there anything that's really sticks out to you so far?
I'm most excited covering about the kids that people don't really know about, because since they're so up north, people don't really know about they actually play football up there. So I'm glad to give them some of the exposure that they need.
So you've actually got a chance to write about a high school in Minnesota already, and you can actually check that out on our website, gridironfootballusa.com. But Demetrius, tell me about the high school you covered and a little bit about their program.
The high school I covered was Mankato West. It is in Nebraska. Mankato West have a history of winning state championships. Last season they came up a little short in the championship game. They lost, if I'm not mistaken, it was 29-26. So it was a pretty hard-fought game, and then the season before that they ended up winning the championship. So they have a history of winning.
Yeah, and you got a chance to talk to your coach, and you can check that article at gridironfootballusa.com. But you also got a chance to write about their receiver. I believe he's committed to the Gophers, right?
Yes.
That's been a D1 player, one of their star players. So tell me about the new Minnesota Gopher. What should the Gophers be expecting in this receiver that you wrote about?
Just know if it's just man on man, just know they're going over the top. It's over the top. He has crazy amount of speed. His catch radius is insane, and his just ability just to blow by corners is crazy.
And what's his name?
Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith. Okay, so keep an eye on Jalen Smith, right? Anything that stood out to you about Jalen, just talking to him, having a conversation about him? What is it that impressed you the most? Because you told me about how good he is as a football player, but anything that impressed you just talking to him?
When I was asking him questions, one answer that stood out to me is when I asked, does he like compare himself to anybody, or like does anybody he looks up to? He said that he doesn't necessarily compare himself to anybody, and I feel like that's a great answer, because you don't want to limit yourself to just one person. You want to have a collective of attributes. You don't want to just model your game after one person, because sometimes that one person doesn't work out for you, you know? And I feel like that was a great interaction with him.
Yeah. So you're going to be writing more articles this week, covering more states. So in order for fans, for everybody to read your stuff, what website should they go to?
www.gridironfootballusa.com.
There you go. You got Demetrius Hollins. Demetrius is going to be a host of our Football Huddle show that you'll get to watch every single Friday. And then to this young lady to the right of me, to the left of you, Samantha Ennis. So Samantha, thanks for coming on board with us. You're going to, of course, this semester, this fall, which is really a great time because we're going to be talking about a lot of football. You actually got a chance to write about a player already, but before we go into that player and what you talked to him about, tell us about the states that you'll be covering for us this fall.
Yes, so I'll be covering Georgia, Tennessee, and North and South Carolina.
Okay, so you got more like SEC type country, right?
Yep.
So we got a little Big Ten, got a little SEC. Samantha, so what intrigues you most about these states that you'll be covering? How excited you are for the opportunity to cover a lot of states, right?
So I'm super excited to cover Georgia. Obviously, they have been winning college championships, so they're producing good kids from that state. And I'm just really excited about Tennessee too. They're coming up in the SEC, so I'm just excited about to learn more about the high school kids in the state rather than the college.
Yeah, obviously they've been pretty successful. Like you mentioned, Georgia won the last two national championships. They're trying to go for a three-peat that hasn't really been done since the 30s. So we'll see how that goes. Tennessee's been definitely on the rise the last 2 or 3 years. So I know you're very excited about covering those states, but just to get you started, I know you actually covered a Louisiana kid for your article, and he's actually going to be a player that has been invited to play in our Gridiron Football All-American Bowl game, which we played at the end of the year. Tell us a little bit about this player.
Yeah, so I got to talk with Samuel Tulos. He is a senior at Acadian Christian, and he's just a really good quarterback. I got to talk to him a little bit about who he models his game after, and I thought his answer was really interesting. He models his game after Joe Burrow, who obviously is an LSU legend. Everyone loves him. He admires how cool and how he just doesn't get nervous about anything, and he's just always like a cool guy. Everyone loves him. And then he also models his game after Josh Allen, who he just loves his athleticness, and he wants to just kind of have both of those two aspects into one.
Yeah, I mean, those are two pretty good quarterbacks to model yourself after, right?
Yep.
Two of the best in the entire NFL. An interesting thing about him that you got a chance to talk to a little bit that's going to be different from a lot of other athletes you want to talk to about is that he's actually a homeschooled kid, right?
Yes,
so,
he is.
Tell me, I'm sure he talked to you a little bit about being homeschooled and that experience, right?
Yeah, we didn't get too much into it, but he is homeschooled, and it's definitely a different experience than everyone else is getting in their high school career, so yeah.
Yeah, and I know you're going to be writing for us a lot over the fall. A lot of football going to be going on. A lot, obviously, those are pretty good football states that you'll be covering. So for fans to go and read a lot of your stuff, what website should they go to?
GridironFootballUSA.com.
That's right, GridironFootballUSA.com. We'll go around one more time because it's a football huddle because we were kind of huddling by each other. So that's why we like to call it that. But we will have a chance to introduce to you two more of our beat writers. You got a chance to meet Nick. We've done the Gridiron Football Player of the Week show. But just to go around, we'll have fun with it, you know. So, first of all, 2 questions for Demetrius. First, what's your favorite part about football? Why you enjoy football so much? And the second part of it is anything that you want to talk about. Could be college, could be NFL, anything that you're excited about. I know college football just started last week. Anything you were paying attention to or watching at all?
Obviously I watched the LSU game, even though the outcome wasn't, it didn't go as well as we all thought, but we have some takeaways that we can move on from. It's hopefully next game it's better. It should be better.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be some problems if it's not, you know, against Grambling. But Demetrius, tell me why you enjoy the sport of football so much. Just kind of give me a background of why football has stood out to you.
Oh, I love football so much. I mean, it's just been a part of my life pretty much since I've been born, really. growing up, I've been playing. I played football for, I want to say, 10 years.
Wow. Okay, about a decade there.
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time.
And then my dad was a coach, so I was involved in football early on, even with just going to their practices and just doing the little cones as a kid, or being on the sidelines, being like the ball boy. So I think football is just a big part of my life.
Yeah, and you get to talk about it. That makes it even more. So yeah, make sure to follow Demetrius and all his posts throughout the fall. And then Demetrius is going to be on here for the football huddle. And then Samantha, just about you. What is it about football? You're actually from. That's an interesting fact. You're from New York,
Yes.
which is like wow. I mean, I don't know what drew you over here, but yeah, tell me a little bit about yourself and what really drew you not only, I guess, to the sport, but I guess to attend college at LSU, and tell me about that.
Yeah, so growing up, my dad was a huge Jets fan, and it was always on the TV whenever they were playing. So I've always seen that, and I've definitely learned how to from him learned how to stick with the team, even if they're bad.
Well, yeah, the Jets,
Yep, and I guess I just came to LSU because of the football program, the insane 2019 team, hoping to get back to that time in my 4 years here. So yeah, that's really just why I've always loved it. My dad, he's just a huge fan, and I love the competitiveness of it and beating another team. So.
Yeah, there you go. You're still a big. Are you a Jets fan or a Giants fan?
I probably would have to stay with my dad. He'd probably not like it if I said Giants, so I'd say Jets.
Okay. What do you think of Aaron Rodgers with the Jets? You like
that?
that?
I did see that. That's good. It's good for them. Hopefully it gives them some good luck and some winning this year.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be an interesting AFC East. I know that for a fact. So appreciate y'all guys for coming on. And this is going to be the last time you hear from me really on the Football Huddle show. Get a chance to introduce yourself to some of our other beat writers as well that you'll be seeing through the fall. Get a chance to match a name with a face per se. So you're going to be hearing a lot from them throughout the fall. We have 3 different shows on our YouTube channel that we'll have. Obviously, Tuesday at 7 o'clock, we'll release our Gridiron Football Player of the Week countdown. We'll release the top 10 players of the week each and every week. And you say, hey, he should have been number 3. He should have been not number 6, whatever. Well, you can blame me and blame all these beat writers because we're actually voting on who the top players are. So that's going to be really fun. And then every Wednesday, myself and Marcus Randall, former LSU quarterback, will be breaking down the LSU Tigers every single week. And it's going to be a rough show on Wednesday after that Florida State loss. But we'll dive deep into it and talk about it. And then every Friday, starting with high school football, right? Everybody's excited for Friday night, and then Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You get like 4 straight days of football, and the kickstart it off will be the show hosted by these guys, the Football Huddle, every Friday. So make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure to go to our website. You want to find out what these beat writers are going to be writing about. Go to gridironfootballusa.com, and then I'll get a chance to introduce you to our next couple beat writers that will be hosting the Football Huddle.
Love it when I turn up the bass. They love it when I turn up the bass. They love it when I turn up the bass.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition, well, actually, our first edition of the Football Huddle. Jace Luzerne alongside Sean Murphy. You get a chance to know Sean if you just watched the commercial break right before. Got a chance to meet two of our new beat writers for Gridiron Football. Now you'll get a chance to meet the third one. So you won't see me on this show at all. It's going to be really these beat writers, their opportunity to host their own show and everything. So this will be the only time you'll see me on here. But we'll get a chance to introduce Sean as well. You'll be hearing a lot from him, reading a lot of his stuff on Gridiron Football's website. So Sean, thanks for jumping on board with us this fall. And so far, Sean, tell me a little bit about yourself and what drew you to the sport of football.
So at the moment I'm a senior at LSU, born and raised in New Orleans, obviously a huge Saints fan. Football has been a part of my life since I was a kid, going to games with my parents. And I didn't really play. I played once. I was really bad. Decided to just go into the business side of it and the media side of it and everything, and kind of do what I can with football, even though I don't have the physical abilities to play. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into this.
Okay, how you liking it so far? You've only been with about a full week with us so far. So how you liking this?
It's been pretty fun so far. Never watched the game on the sidelines before, so that was pretty interesting to do. And just kind of seeing these players play, kind of learning how to do everything around here. It's been interesting.
Yeah, and speaking of that, you go website gridironfootballusa.com for a recap of the game he was talking about. That was U High and Woodlawn. You and Demetrius got your first really opportunity to know how to cover a game and watch a game and everything. So I want to ask you what your thoughts were about U High. I mean, they were rolling.
I showed up a little late, but when I got there, it was already 27-0, I'm pretty sure. So, I mean, they just kept on going right after that, and they never slowed down.
No, they didn't. A good start for the U High Cubs, but it's not just Louisiana. Obviously, Sean, you're going to be covering a lot more states. You just posted an article just now on a powerhouse in Texas that has, I know I'm wearing some LSU stuff on my LSU show, but they got a couple of LSU guys. So talk about the high school you just wrote about here today.
So I did Duncanville High School, and it's a Texas high school, 6A, Division I. They recently just came off of a championship, and they have a ton of just really good athletes. A couple of them are committed to LSU. Obviously, others are committed to other places. LSU commits that we have is Caden Durham
And you got a wide receiver in 2025.
Yeah, the wide receiver. He's also a 4-star commit that's going to LSU. I think next year, the year after that, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So some pretty good talent. I think they're coming off of I think 2 straight state championships, or
runner up and then
state championship. Yeah. So they've been on fire for sure. Duncanville, and they're going to be a favorite for the state championship this year in 6A in Texas. There's no wonder why LSU's trying to recruit that high school. And as far as where they can go and read this article, what website should they go to?
So it's right behind us, or I guess you can't read it fully, but gridironfootballusa.com is where you're going to find these articles. And then for the school, the one that I just wrote, it's under School Spotlight and the school's name, which is Duncanville.
There you go. Just go to gridironfootballusa.com. We got, obviously, there's going to be a lot of LSU coverage in Louisiana high school football, but we're getting a lot more coverage from outside the state as well. State in Texas.
Yeah, that's the state that I'm doing. I forgot to mention that.
Yep. So and that leads it to my next point. Talk about the states you'll be covering this fall.
So I'll be doing. I only have one state this.
That's right.
This fall because it's Texas, and it's a huge state with a lot of football and a lot of great teams on it. So there's going to be a lot of Texas content coming from me this fall and this winter, and I'm looking forward to promoting Texas football.
Yeah, well, I guess Texas is equivalent of 5 or 6 states, right?
Yeah.
You got a whole area of Texas. So for all of our Texas coverage this fall, make sure to check out and remember read Sean's stuff. Sean, Anything just to wrap up? It's going to be a kind of a quick show here today. I know you're going to be more insight from y'all as I put more and more content up on our website when you, Demetrius, and Samantha are all together. So it should be a really fun show. But just so far from what you've seen, week 1 college football just started. I know we talked a whole lot. You actually helped me produce the Chase with Jay show, so we talk a lot about LSU today. But your thoughts on LSU, or in that matter, just college football in general? Something like, I know Deion Sanders, they looked really good with Colorado.
That was a fantastic game to watch.
Yeah, against TCU, huh?
Yeah. Hopefully, obviously a little biased, want LSU to do better. We'll hopefully have a comeback this weekend and hopefully leave last week's game behind us.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's been a great start to college football. I'm looking for more exciting games throughout the season.
Yeah, I'm excited what week 2 has to offer. I know LSU was disappointing, but look at Colorado had a really good debut with Deion, and then Clemson. How about Clemson losing to Duke on Monday? That was a shock.
I didn't personally watch that game, but I did see the score afterwards, and I was not expecting that whatsoever. So that was a big surprise to me.
Yeah, and then like you said, you're a big Saints fan. You're a big NFL fan. How excited are you for what do you think about the Saints this year and how they may look with Derek Carr?
I will overtalk the Saints every single season. That's just me, and being born from New Orleans, you can't stop. I think we're going to have a really good season. We have a pretty easy schedule. Derek Carr is a solid, definitely an upgrade from Andy Dalton. So, with the weapons that we have, I think we can go far and have a playoff push if possible.
Well, I'll start Sunday against the Tennessee Titans, so we'll see how the Carr train is going to be riding the car, right? See how that goes for the Saints. I know the NFL season kicks off. Well, by the time you're watching this, it's already kicked off with the Chiefs and the Lions, so it should be a fun NFL season as well. So
looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely, Sean. Any final thoughts before we wrap up? I know it's going to be a pretty quick one. I know we just talked with our previous 2 beat writers, but anything that you want to promote or anything you want to talk about before we wrap up?
Not exactly. I think we've gotten touch base a little bit, getting used to just being around here, and hopefully the show next week will run smoothly without him, without Jace right here.
Oh, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. But they're going to do really well, so it's going to be a fun show. So just so y'all get accustomed to what the schedule is going to look like, it was kind of weird this week with Labor Day and everything. We're going to be back to pretty much normal next week. Tuesday, we'll have a Player of the Week show. Myself and Nick will go over that and go over all the top performers of the week, not only Louisiana, but around the country. So it's going to be a national Player of the Week after we had just Louisiana last year. And on Wednesday at 12:30, you'll get a chance to interact with me and talk some LSU football. I have a chance to ask any questions, anything you want to know about LSU. That will be on Wednesday at 12:30. And then on Friday, you'll get a chance to hear from our beat writers. They'll talk about whatever. They'll talk about the schools they cover, the teams they cover, the players, and just anything in general. It's their show. So I'm going to let them go free reign whenever they want to talk about. Well, Sean, appreciate you. Thanks for coming on board. You'll help us a lot with the Chase with Jace as well. Get a chance to look at all his content at gridironfootballusa.com. We'll also go to a lot of high school games with us over the fall and cover a lot of high school games. So I hope y'all enjoyed the first edition of Football Huddle for Season 2. And then make sure to check out Demetrius, Sean, and Samantha next week on the Gridiron Football Huddle.